Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to The Sanctuary. I'm your host, Professor C, and we're going to do some more A&P lecturing today. Specifically, we're going to check out a group of muscles known as the hamstrings. Let's check them out. The term hamstrings comes from an Old English root, very similar to what you see there, but it had two M's called ham, which referred to the back of the knee, basically. And the strings, I think, are obvious. We know what strings are. So if you look at the back of the knee, you can see some very obvious strings attached to this musculature in the back of the thigh. And of course, these are called the hamstrings. Their only job is to flex the knee. You could say flex leg, and that is, again, to kick yourself in the butt would be the action of flex leg. Now, these are the antagonistic muscles, the set of muscles that are antagonists to the quads, which we'll cover in about 2 lectures from now. So let's take a peek at the hamstrings, even though there are only 3 muscles, and it's quite simple to do that. Don't be overwhelmed at first. Let's take this step by step. Let's start on the left-hand side, and let's look at the first of the 3 hamstrings called biceps femoris. Again, you can't just call something the biceps anymore. Like a lot of people just, point to the arm and say, hey, that's the biceps. But there's another biceps, 2-headed, right? Biceps, 2-headed muscle that attaches to the femur. So we have biceps femoris down here in the hamstring group. Notice the attachment here is on the ischial tuberosity. Now, you can't see that usually on a lot of the models because they're covered up with other musculature and so forth. But I'm just going to go ahead and circle all of these muscles here have an attachment to that ischial tuberosity. So there's biceps femoris. We do have 2 heads, so we got a long one here and a short one over here. The next of the 3 is semitendinosus. I remember tendinosus has a T that tells me it's on top, and the other one that we're going to get to in a minute is underneath it. And this one's really easy because you can see this long snake-like tendon going all the way around the end of the femur and the tibia. And then the other one that's on bottom, and I remember that because it's got BM here for like kind of bottom, and it tells you that it's underneath semitendinosus. So this is called SEMIMEMBRANOSUS, and it's almost in the same spot that tendinosus is, but again, it's deeper to it. And that's really all you have. So here you've got all 3 together. You've got biceps femoris here, semitendinosus, follow the snake-like tendon around, and then on the edge here, but actually it's underneath, is semimembranosus. So here's biceps femoris. I'll just put a B on it like that. I've drawn the B on the long head. The short head is right here next to it, but it's often covered up by long head. And here on top, I'll just put a little T for semitendinosus, and then below it, blocked by it, on either side of it, is semimembranosus. So let's look at these one at a time. Start with biceps femoris. Going to be attached to the ischial tuberosity, but again, when you see it like here in a lot of the pictures, it's covered up by so much stuff it's hard to recognize what that is. But it is attached there. The short head attaches to the back of the femur, and there's a line that runs down the back of the femur called the linea aspera, or linea aspera, some people say, and this is where the short head will originate. Now, they're both going to insert at the head of the fibula, way down here, one of the leg bones. And just for the 80th time, right, anything above the knee is called the thigh, and anything below the knee is called the leg. Action is to do what the other hamstrings do, flex leg, but this does have some extra component of lateral rotation. And then it is going to be innervated by a branch of the sciatic nerve known as the tibial nerve. Now the short head has a different innervation. It's still a branch of the same structure, but common fibular. All right, the one on top, and this one's easy again because of the long snake-like tendon that goes all the way down, wrapping around the knee, called semitendinosus. It's on top. So origin same place, little to the side of where biceps femoris originated. Insertion is in what's called the pes anserinus. Now, down here where I've already put the arrow, you can see all of these cords wrapped up. And sometimes this pes anserinus is called the gyropes, or the goose foot. The goose foot might be easily understandable because it's got kind of like 3 long toes there, But the guy ropes has to do with, say you have like a radio tower, if you've ever seen a big towering radio tower in the sky, and they'll have these long cords kind of tying it down to the earth. Those are called guy ropes. Same thing you'd have on a big ship with a mast and so forth. So the three muscles that join together at this pes anserinus are semitendinosus, one of the hamstrings, and two others we'll see in other lectures, sartorius and gracilis. Action as hamstrings all do: flex the knee, flex the leg, and it is innervated by the tibial branch of sciatic nerve. Semimembranosus, remember the MB, the bum tells me it's on bottom, and that helps you remember that. So when you see the image down here, it looks like there's two parts of it, but it's actually just tendinosus is on top of it and covering it up. So origin, same thing. Again, you can't see all the details, but it will eventually make its way up to the ischial tuberosity there. Attaches medial condyle, not actually part of the pes anserinus. Flex leg as the hamstrings do, and do a little bit of hip extension. And it is innervated by the sciatic nerve, tibial branch. All right, that's all there is to it. 3 muscles of the hamstrings. Thanks for watching to the end if you did. Check out some more videos if you want to learn more about A&P. See you for the next one. Bye-bye.